Fantastic performance on a great night of boxing, and one of the best female fights I think I've ever seen. Tremendous, big respect for both, and over to you guys for questions for the champion.
Chantelle, I'll start, sorry. What was it? Sorry, what did you do?
Oh, go on, you're on.
I was sorry. I was about to say, what was it like leading up to this fight? Beez came across as probably a really good contender. So when you went in there against that, she didn't seem to have many answers for what you was throwing at her. What was that like compared to obviously the lead up, and how it was like, yeah, she's going to come with some kind of like force?
I knew she was powerful, and she was powerful with the first shot she threw through. She made my eyes swell up. So I knew I had to be cautious, but sometimes I got a bit carried away. But yeah, I felt like if I did stick to what Jamie and I just saying a little bit more, just thrown on to boxing a bit more, I could have made it an easier night, but I had fun in there. So.
Chantelle, first congratulations, really fantastic performance. It was quite engaging, the fight, and there was a lot of times where you guys were caught up in the exchanges and you seemed to be getting the better of those exchanges. What did you make of Mary Lee's power in there?
She was very powerful. She's the bigger girl. I knew she was going to be powerful, but I know how tough I am, so I was kind of as excited for it.
And also, obviously there's a lot of belts on the line, so the road to undisputed. How does it make you feel coming out of it, obviously the victor of this fight, knowing that you're in the really the run-up to getting all those belts?
It's not really sitting yet, and I've just won these 3 belts, so I think I'll wake up tomorrow and it'll hit me. But it's so exciting, and thanks to Eddie and putting this one on, it's great Gordon's boxing. It's a dream come true to know that now I was 2 fights away from undisputed, and now I'm 1 fight away. It's amazing.
Chantelle, I just wondered, congratulations first of all. I just wondered because Mary talked about ahead of the fight that you were going to run. We know you like to keep it nice and long. And there were moments in the fight where you had to take toe to toe. Was Jamie giving you a bit of a bollocking in the corner to start keeping it long? Because when you went back to the long range boxing, it was absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it was. Is he giving you a bollocking?
I felt like Jamie and I would have a heart attack at some point, so I thought best listen to him. So yeah, it was fun.
And was you very surprised that you were able to take him out? Because I know you were
No, well, I knew that I wasn't going to stop it. I said, if the opportunity comes, I'll go for it. But I said as well, it's going to be, if it's going to win, it's going to go by points. I knew she was tough, and then there she's the champion. She's not there just to turn up. She's there to win these belts just as much as me. So it's a champion mindset. You can't be stopping champions if they're that hungry.
Do you think she'd be able to take all that stick up? Because Caught clean a lot.
She's tough. I respect her so much. It's the toughest fight I've ever had, and I knew it was going to be, but I didn't realise she'd be that tough.
It's about 6 or 7 seems to sort of giving up on the idea of stopping her. Because it was in the 6th, yeah, the big exchange in the rings and the round. And after that, it was just like, you seem to resign yourself to the game of business.
I've seen some opportunities. I thought about her head, but I won't know for the stoppage. It was a tough fight, and if the stoppage not there, it's not there.
Chantelle, just to follow back what our colleagues were saying there, so we've seen you in your previous performances, you boxed very well, but in this fight, you chose to slug it out there. Do you want to, as the cliche kind of goes, show that you've got a big dog in you as well, that you can slug it out?
Yeah, our whole career I've never really had a tight stroke. Most of my fights I've gone out there and I've kind of just bullied people around and done what I wanted, and I've always said to Jamie and Nigel that I can't wait until I can bite down on my gum shield and actually have a tear up, and tonight I've got that, and it's what I've been waiting for a long time.
Jamie and colleagues all mentioned about your kind of feelings in the corner there. Just off the back of the black performance last night, were you kind of worried as well, potentially kind of got that way as well, considering what happened?
Well, I think that was probably on Chantelle's mind, but I did remind her about it on the corner, saying, you know, even though you are coming out slightly on top in these exchanges, you don't need to be there. You know, you're winning it, you know, dropping singles or ones and twos, getting off that centre line when she sort of held her feet. I understand sometimes she has to sort of dissuade her from constantly coming forward, but I wanted her to do it in smaller pockets. But listen, I can't complain, honestly. I'm so proud of what she did tonight. She was dominant in a tough fight, and the scorecards don't really reflect how tough it was. But and you've got to take your hat off to Mary McGee. She was unbelievable tonight.
Eddie, you've got Calories and Mark coming up, but being confident that Michael Black performance, or even more confident that you've got the undisputed champion sitting next to you in the future. And when would you like the undisputed title fight to take place?
Yeah, I think she was always the big favourite in the tournament, but you know, I think Mary McGee, just checking Callie's not here, you know, may have been the toughest of the other three competitors, although Callie Reese is a hell of a fighter as well, and they're all really excited by this. And you see Mary, you know, we just went into her change room a minute ago, she's absolutely devastated because it's not just a chance to unify, but people like Mary McGee haven't really made the money that they deserve for their career, and obviously they did tonight. But also, if you get to the final, the money increases again, really, in many different ways for these fighters. And Callie's got the same thing on her mind. She's really been around for a long time, and she's not made that kind of money. So she's thinking, I want to unify, but if I can get into the final, it's almost like, you know, secures my future in that respect. So I think Kamara is actually could be a little bit of a dark horse. She's really fresh and fit and young and strong, but Callie Reese is a good fighter. That takes place November the 19th. And then really, I think we look to make the fight, you know, probably end of February, March, something like that for next year. Tonight, keeping the show on tonight was for a number of reasons. Obviously, make sure that the fighters fought and got paid in advance their careers and stuff like that, but also when the opportunity came around for this fight to headline, you know, I think that it was a great opportunity for the tournament, for women's boxing, for Chantelle, and now people have seen that fight, her fan base is going to grow considerably, and then when we do the final, we can stage it back in the UK, and you know, it can headline its own card. So I think it was a massive night for Chantelle, massive night for women's boxing, and I do think she's a strong favourite to pick up, as we said in the ring. I thought it was one more belt, no, it's two more belts, it's actually three. WBA, WBO and IBF. So hopefully at the end of February or March or whenever it is, she'll have all six lined up.
Chantelle, can you describe the emotions over the last week or so? It's the first, Dillian White's injured, he can't fight, you don't know if the show's going ahead. Then you find out it is, plus you're now the main event. How did your emotions change over that period?
It's been very up and down. But Wednesday was in the gym having a media day, and I was halfway through an interview and I got told about Dillian's injury. I found out the show's going to be off, and I couldn't sleep that night. And literally I was thinking, the show's not going to put, they're not going to put anyone else on the headline. I didn't really feel like I was a big enough name to headline. And I woke up to Jamie texting me saying headline. I was like, wow, I just pulled that one out of the bag.
You didn't even message me actually. I was waiting, like while we were just sort of deciding what to do. I kept looking at my Instagram and I was waiting for one from you going, oh, come on, please, down. No, it all works out in the end.
You've got another cracking card on the big female fight on it. You just announced the Kate Taylor fight on December 11th. How do you feel sort of women's boxing progressing?
Brilliant. I mean, look, we were the ones, so we were the ones who started. It's been around for ages, but we were the ones that really aggressively pushed it on a commercial basis with a broadcaster, and now everyone's following suit, which is really encouraging. 2 weeks ago was it Sky headlined with Savannah Marshall. We headlined tonight with Chantelle. Next week we've got our fighter Maiva Hamadushi against Michaela Meyer. That's on the ESPN live headline. I mean, it's really, you know, we're always playing catch up, and even financially we're not to the levels that we need to be. But I always say, when people talk about equality of pay, it doesn't mean if you become a world champion that you should make the same money as a male world champion if the commercial value of that fight is not the same. Equality is about if two things are exactly the same, then the person should be exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? If someone's selling out arenas, if someone's driving subscriptions and so is the female. You know, you've got Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano, Touchwood coming up. That is a fight that is going to be in the main room of Madison Square Garden. That's a 7-figure purse, you know, for those fighters, and that's where we want to get to. If Chantelle wins this and Katie comes through that is another mega fight to be made for this country. That can sell out an arena here as well. And you know, I think that it's in a great position. I really do. I think that also you're getting some good domestic rivalries, and you're starting to get weight classes now that are really sort of coming together. Two bantamweights, great examples. Yeah, so I just think we just got to keep pushing it, but without the quality that you saw tonight. Like tonight was not good enough, or it wasn't a good fight, or it just allows people to go, oh, it's women's boxing, I'm not interested in that. But even people who aren't fans can't not watch that and go, fair play, that was unbelievable. So, and the girls are performing every time. I've not put on a bad World Championship female fight, really. I can't remember a bad fight. You know, you saw Eric Molina diving around, you know, against Babbage, and then you've got Mary McGee just showing unbelievable heart, and Chantelle, and that's great for women's boxing.
Chantelle, when we caught up with you in the gym, you sort of said about Katie Taylor fight, you've been chasing her, and you fancied the Jessica McCaskill fight. Is that still on the card, do you think, or would you even make it with like the Katie Taylor fight?
I need to win the final first.
I would love to make that. I think that could be a mega fight. I've always said I think that's a really, really tough fight for both of them. But that they should get what they deserve for that fight. When she wins the undisputed, and you've got Katie Taylor undisputed at 135, Chantelle Cameron undisputed at 140, you can't not make that fight. Honestly, that's when it becomes a massive fight. But how good is it to see? You know, you got 135 Katie Taylor. Hopefully, when this is all done, 140 Chantelle Cameron, 147. You've got Jessica McCaskill, 154 you've got Clarissa Shields. So you've got undisputed champions coming across. That's how it should be in every division. You should have one champion who owns all the belts, but they've got to fight each other. And that's what's so refreshing about female boxing.
What's the reason McCaskill says
Yeah, I mean she's ready to fight. She's going to box in December. You know, she's coming off 2 big wins against Brackhouse, but I don't really see Chantelle as a 147-pounder, but nor's Jessica, really. But I would rather make the Katie Taylor fight after the tournament than McCaskill, because I just think it's a bigger fight.
Chantelle, congratulations, it was a life for you. Just a quick question this week, boxing Twitter was alive with the presence of Liam McCourt over here supporting you. I know that you guys have been friends for a long time. I'm just wondering, what is it like to have someone, a friend who's not with you in fight camp, that is able to share the experience of knowing what it's like to be in there to fight, both of you trying to achieve greatness within your both your sports, MMA and boxing, and what is your perception of greatness?
It's great because obviously she's around all week, she's in Vegas with me, and she's a woman as well, and even though it's a different sport, but it's still in a combat sport. And it's just like an extra bit of the backbone. So yeah, it's unreal. Got great friends to come out and support me, and yeah, even Savannah Marshall. Like before our fight, we're always going to come tonight, but always like going through tactics, reminding me of back in the day, and little stories and stuff, just giving me that boost. So it's great. Got great support.
And what is your definition of greatness?
Winning every day.
How has sparring like Jack Cattrall helped you prepare for this fight and beyond?
Really good, because Jack's so heavy-handed about trying to be. So we was having a sparring gym once, and he caught me with a left hook to my temple, and we can whack. And he weren't even like trying, and Jamie was telling him to like rough me up a bit, like hustle me, just so that like tonight I'm strong inside. I've been working a lot with Kelly K's on my strength this camp as well, so making sure that I was strong.
Thinking about it now, like sparring with Jack, it's a good job we did that. I really had pressure in her back and throwing her around, physically throwing her around, so I forgot about that.
Right guys, I'm going to let Chantelle get off. Well done, congratulations.